Boobs. Boobs.
There they go again. They did Lola Bunny dirty in Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. So if you haven't seen Twitter or just online in general for the past 2 or 3 days, everyone is wilding out over what they did to Lola Bunny with her new design in Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. And I don't blame the people who are just dissenting into rage right now, and I'll explain why. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not a furry. Just because you defend the outrage doesn't automatically make you a furry. If anything, it makes you against censorship, and this is the same brand of censorship they've been doing for the past 10 years. I'll bring up a couple of things that we'll talk about in this video, but if you haven't seen, the new images came out recently, and if you compare them to Space Jam 1, which came out like over 20 years ago, wow. They made some critical changes to her design. Like they always do this with anything they reboot, with anything they sequel, with any old property they dig up. They always go to the female first. I don't know why. But they went ahead. They gave Lola a longer jersey because, my God, a female rabbit's body, I guess. I don't know. That's too bothersome for the silver screen. And also they gave her longer shorts. And I know what everyone's going to start with. They're going to say, oh, you're mad? You mad, bro? Your female character is covered up. You can't do any of that. You're mad. It doesn't. That's a standard defender argument. I don't get these people, right? Because in the same breath, they'll defend censorship here, but if they go and they find an instance like with the whole Steven Universe thing, where they took Ruby and Sapphire and in different nations they censored things with them, they'll get mad about that censorship. But in this instance, they will defend censorship because anything that antagonizes male viewers is good. I just don't get this. But you guys don't even pay attention to the women that are actually taking the side of anti-censorship and all this. Because I've seen a lot of female viewers and just social media users take the stance of saying that they're tired of in every censorship thing, the first thing that's got to go with a female character is her chest, which I'll be honest, I never noticed Lola Bunny's chest in her original design. The whole thing with her and her original design is like her jersey was more of a shirt of a sports bra, and she had like a midriff or something, and she had shorter shorts, which they kind of focused on in that design. They focused on her having long legs because I guess Stacy Keibler was a big deal back then. And back in the original Space Jam, Lola Bunny was just there to be the love interest for Bugs. And it's just a typical role. Like, the human character, the NBA star, is supposed to be the hero / straight man. Bugs is supposed to be buddy-buddy with the main character. Daffy is the wacky one. And in the original Space Jam, Lola was just supposed to be Bugs', his love interest. And I know what people are going to say. This movie is for kids. Okay, this is a G-rated movie. That does not mean, it means that kids can view it without you having to worry about anything raunchy going on. That doesn't mean that it's specifically aimed towards kids, because let's be honest, if this movie was purely for kids of the day, they wouldn't be using the Looney Tunes. None of these kids know who the Looney Tunes are. I barely know who the Looney Tunes are. The Looney Tunes were your parents and your grandparents' stuff. That's who the Looney Tunes relate to. I barely knew who the Looney Tunes were if it wasn't thanks to the Boomerang and my mom and my dad and my grandparents knowing who the characters were. So that whole defense of this movie is only for kids, nah, stop that. If it was only for kids, they'll be using Steven Universe characters and other stuff like that. You'd see, I don't know, who is it? She-Ra with the new design, whatever, being in the movie. If it was only for kids of the day, it's a general audience's movie. They use the old characters for nostalgia to relate to the older audience, so it's for everyone. It's not like, and here's my overall argument, right? Lola Bunny had a I don't even want to call it a more risque design. It was just a unique outfit. It was just a unique outfit for Lola Bunny. Did she do anything in the movie? What was it like? She started. God no. Did she twerk in the original Space Jam? Did anything go on? Did they slap a Zone Sama symbol on the screen and things just went off? No. She played basketball. Why? Out of all the things that you could focus on in the movie, you're so bothered. No, the people who are arguing for the censorship, you are so bothered by a female rabbit that you're attacking people who have a problem with censorship. I don't get it. And you're ignoring the females who actually don't like the censorship. I don't get it. It's a cartoon movie. If it's not a big deal, this is my thing here. If it's not a big deal, why would they take the time? Why would they go out of their way to censor it if it's not a big deal? That's all I'm saying. Just because something is animated and rated for general audiences, it doesn't mean that it's mainly for kids. It's for everyone. They got a little bit of something for everyone. They got the jokes that go over kids' head and all the adults can get. They got different themes and references for all audiences to enjoy. They keep it within a certain range, so it's nothing that is too adult for children. So it's a general audience's movie. And trust me, case in point would be Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And oh boy, I hope they don't do a sequel. They don't do a remake. Jessica, if they do, run. Jessica Rabbit, please run, because they coming for you first. I do not. That one reason alone, with what they're doing, what they keep doing with these movies and these remakes and these reboots, I'm afraid for Jessica Rabbit. I really am. That's what makes me tired of them constantly going back to the well with popular franchises, is because first thing that's got to go, any attractive female, they got to go. They got to be toned down, covered up, because female bodies are so horrifying to them. Oh my God, no, we got to cover that. I don't get it. I do not get it. And I mean, when I think about it, it always seems like with these censorship decisions, they automatically target women. Like, look at the Powerpuff Girls 2016 reboot, right? They were so intimidated by a female character, they completely removed Miss Bellum. If you watch the original Powerpuff Girls series back in the day, there was nothing wrong with Miss Bellum. She was just a recurring character, but they were so intimidated by Miss Bellum, they cut her out of the reboot. Not only that, but they deflated Miss Keene. That was another thing that they did. Like, a lot of people noticed that one of the bigger differences between the 1990s Powerpuff Girls and the 2016 remake was that they removed the chest of Miss Keene. And again, this is not... my argument is it's not a big deal, but if it's not a big deal, why did you go about changing it? It's not like people paused the screen, like they went on their DVRs but VCRs back then and just fixated on that portion of the character. But when you do a remake and people look at the design of the character, yes, they're gonna notice some differences, and yes, they're gonna get mad because we know why you're doing this. Nobody's stupid. We know why you're doing this. But here's the thing, right? This is what baffles me. These Hollywood types, they're so pro censorship to protect the kids, but they don't censor any of the things that are problematic towards kids. Like with the 2016 Powerpuff Girls, right? They had the kindergartners twerking in one episode. I kid you not. And it made the internet unanimously lose their lunch because they had the Powerpuff Girls twerk to be trendy. Not only that, the whole, like, I could go into another series, the whole series Big Mouth, which I don't get this. Like, they make an adult show which is to help kids cope with growing up while having seriously disgusting adult humor. And I don't get that. But they tolerate all that off the wall, edgy, adult, I would argue child enthusiast humor in that show. Like it's obviously something going on with whoever's managing this type of stuff. These censorship guys, like, I don't like it, and I'm tired of it. And I like Lola Bunny is just the first character, and one of many, not the first, but one of many characters that have a questionable reasoning for being censored. But if you get what I'm saying, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, enable all notifications, and we'll, keep doing little videos like this. I like having discussions like this with the perfectionists, and to get what you want to think out there in the comment section down below. Peace.